What's up, everybody? Dueling Aces for March 3rd, 2025. And it's been a little while. uh, Bruce and I were just talking. It's like, yeah, we haven't done a show since just after the Super Bowl and before Daytona. So a lot has happened since then, of course. And Bruiser was pretty much about dead on with almost the top five, kind of for Daytona there, if I recall correctly.
I wasn't even close.
No, wasn't your dude third? Who you
Who?
predicted? Who you predicted?
Blaney?
Yeah.
No, Blaney didn't finish third, I don't think.
I thought he did.
Hold on. I'm not looking at that right now. I'm looking at something else. No, Jimmy Johnson finished third. Ryan Blaney finished seventh.
So, and of course, there was another wreck going into that last lap.
I mean, it's speedway racing. There always is. That's what's gonna happen.
And of course, it's been so long since we've done a show. I actually grew hair.
Well,
strange things happen. And it's about that time for baseball season to start back up again. And speaking of which, I still got, I've seen you at least twice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Over the past month or so, or 2 months. I've seen you at least twice, and I still didn't bring you that damn Polanco card.
Oh, a Pittsburgh Placido Polanco card?
Yeah, Gregory Polanco.
Mm.
Yep, I still didn't bring that. I said, dang it. Next time I see him, I got to make sure I take that card with me. Mr. Zolt, how in the blue blazes are you?
Hi.
I said it's been so long since we've done a show, I grew hair.
I did not.
Orcs can't grow hair.
It's true. Neither can Necrons.
Touche. How in the blue blazes are you, sir?
I'm okay. I'm here. We've survived the worst, I believe, of the winter weather. And there is sunshine on the horizon.
And 50 degrees at least.
And a ton of rain. No. And rain every damn day.
No.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to get real shitty here coming up. Lots of rain.
No, I did not want to hear that. Get a baseball field to dry out and clean up.
It's about time for that wonderful, wonderful spring Ohio weather.
Hey, I don't see any until the 15th. And that is weeks away. The rest of it, Friday might be 40%. We'll see. After that, all fitty and nice. And believe me, I got a 14-year-old that can't wait. He'll be outside every freaking afternoon.
What the hell are you talking about? 60% chance of rain and 50 degrees on Wednesday.
No, that's down by you. I'm talking up by me.
30.
Trust me, we can have different weather, my friend. Zolt knows
33 and snow.
You can live in Oakland County, and 20 miles south, you can be sunshiny and it can be gorgeous and beautiful. And yet Zolt can be sitting in severe thunderstorm weather for hours. There's, when you got a 30, 40 mile difference, the weather definitely is different. I know that all too well from even living up there. Speaking of up there, the Red Wings came down for a visit over the weekend.
They did. Hey, Have you seen that ref anywhere recently? We're kind of looking for him. We just want to say hi, thank him for
You
the
want to
job
talk
he
to
did.
him?
Yeah, we just thank him for the job he did. Yes.
I was very impressed with how well they designed those rinks for outdoors. It is super impressive. It truly is. That
Yeah, there's no doubt.
it's as long as you're going to have the weather like that. I mean, shoot, get a couple more.
Yeah, I mean, I said it, last time I think we had a show a couple years ago. It was the NHL knows how to put on an event,
Hmm.
so there's no doubt about it.
Paul Cuthbertson came down for that event.
Good night, Bubba. Love you, man.
Paul came down. He's like, going down into enemy territory. I was like, Paul, you're a Michigan State fan. It's okay. we'll let you pass. But he said he had a good time. They went and swung by Tony Paco's before headed down to the stadium. Make that pit stop in Toledo and
There's worse places.
get his adult beverages by the time he got to the stadium. But he said it was a good time. And it looked, like I said, it looks like a lot of fun. A couple a year would be pretty darn sweet to pull that off. I mean, not burn it all, because like you said, it's an event. But it's like I think having the event a couple times would be pretty slick.
Well, I mean, honestly, I kind of had, I don't want to say I had the opposite viewpoint when Bruiser and I were talking about it, but it was more along the lines of I worry about oversaturation of those kind of things.
I mean,
It
it'd be
becoming
pretty.
not as special.
Well, I mean, if they had it over at the Three Rivers, that'd be pretty slick to have the Penguins play somebody over at Three Rivers. You know. But yeah, that that was a pretty smooth event. I thought it was. I
Yeah.
thought it was really well done.
Yeah, I mean, if they could, if they could just somehow have afforded refs that didn't come from straight from the junior leagues, it would have been great. But I mean, it's the NHL. What can you expect?
It could have been worse. You could have had NFL refs
Well,
or NFL mentality. And speaking of which, yes, I'm a little perturbed about Debo getting traded to the Commanders, but
hey, it's all for making
it was
room
going to
for that
happen.
Brock Purdy extension.
Oh, it was going to happen. Yeah, I think there was going to be they were smelling of moving him last year, so I pretty much figured that it was going to happen this year.
Did he request a trade?
Um, he was. They were looking. They went looking because he felt a little disgruntled and whatnot, and it was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go. So, I mean, shoot, that does help kind of boost the Commanders' receiving core just
A little bit.
just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
And they still got money to throw around.
They do. They've got a ton. I
They
mean,
got
they
a
had a ton, and
ton.
now they have like,
They still have a ton.
they have like 7/10 of a ton.
Yeah, they still have a lot. A lot. And of course, the Clevelanders are all, of course, going, well, Nick Chubb, deuces. See ya. Adios. we knew this day was definitely coming because Chubb can't stay healthy. Where he ends up,
yeah.
who knows?
Well, wherever he ends up, he's going to suddenly stay healthy just because that's how that kind of stuff works, even if it's just for 1 year.
I don't know. He's just been hurt so continuous. It's kind of like he'll just end up going by the wayside, I think. I mean, unless he ends up someplace like in Indy or something, behind somebody major.
Right.
But I mean, where else would he end up? I mean, he's New England,
He
Indy.
could be the next guy in Denver. They're always looking for the next guy.
Yeah, but I mean, Sean Payton's a little smarter than that. Peyton's
Okay.
a little smarter than that.
Let's compare him to poster boy of always getting hurt, J.K. Dobbins.
Ooh,
What
yeah,
happened to J.K. Dobbins this year when he didn't get hurt? He was fine. He was better than fine. He's probably the
yeah.
best back on that team. So it's worth teams taking a shot.
Okay. Now that I figured all that out. I'm on the 12-week march to my next lifting tournament. And I had to figure out all of my totals that I needed to achieve to be able to qualify for the state championships in the fall.
Ooh.
Gotcha.
And then I was looking at what I needed, what numbers I needed to qualify for a national event so that I could qualify for the Arnold next year. Because Zolt, you're a nerd like me. If you thought calculating THACO was hard,
Yeah.
they use a thing called the dot coefficient, which is the weight total that you've lifted, your weight class, and your age all multiplied by a number, and then it gives you a score.
Interesting.
And so because I'm in the masters division, which means I'm 40 plus, my age gets multiplied to it, right? So that brings
At least
so
they
that
changed it
helps.
from the AARP category. Go on.
Yep. Yeah, it's not. I'm not AARP yet. I'm
He's
getting
not
there.
yet.
I'm not there yet.
He's not there. He's almost there.
But the score that I needed to qualify for the Arnold, I needed a dot score of like 375 to qualify for the Arnold. And if I went off of my meet totals from November, I think my dot score was like 270 something. It was 100 points short. However, I need to pay more attention to my email because apparently the USAPL sent me an email at the end of January, beginning of February, that was like, "Hey, would you like to compete at the Arnold?"
Whoops.
I wouldn't have done it because I hadn't trained anything. So
Yeah.
but now it's like, okay, I've got a year to get back there, so I'm gonna go do it. I'm doing the spring siege in May. Christina and I are doing a local strongman in June, and then it's a full on push to November because I want to hit the 1400 club in November at the at States. I watched the kid almost set a world record Saturday afternoon at the Arnold. He was going for 841 pounds on a raw deadlift. and he got it to his knees, and he had it hitched on his knees, and he couldn't swing he couldn't push his hips through and straighten his shoulders out, and he ended up dropping it. The guy, couple guys later, was trying to set I think a state record for his age and weight class on a deadlift. It was like 787 or something, and similar. He got it past his knees, but still couldn't quite get his hips and his shoulders pushed through enough for them to give him the down signal. And all of a sudden, the lights went out. Weight dropped, and he just bam fell backwards like a big redwood. Just bam.
Ouch. I was gonna say, Dave had a couple of videos of where people blow out their knees and stuff trying to do that crap. It's like, oh, that's cringy.
Don't call it crap.
Well, they crap their pants.
I've crapped my pants.
Well, we know this about you. I mean,
Christina pissed herself yesterday
that's the second time.
doing sandbag the shoulder. She told her, get the golf balls out, do the kegels.
Yeah.
I want to interrupt for a brief second, and I want to take 10 seconds to talk about NASCAR.
Sure.
Just saying. Just saying.
Oh,
Chipper.
I haven't even.
Just-
we are 3 races in, and I have forgotten 3 weeks in a row
Yes, you have.
to field a team.
I was gonna say I hadn't even thought about that. I have not even thought about that.
More
got
miles than CMC's crutches. All right, that's a good one. I like that name. Well done. I will remember to field a team this week, and maybe I can get kind of caught back up a little bit.
I had my miracle week. I think I put up like 220 points this week.
Oh man.
Who'd you have?
Hang on.
He's like,
well, the kicker was I got
you had a kicker?
4. Yes. I got all 4 of the 50-50s right.
Oh,
So
you got all 5 of the bonus points?
Yeah, so
you had some good bonus points.
40 points right there.
I never get those ever.
I was gonna say I think I've gotten just 2 out of the 2 of them.
My problem is that when I pick a lineup, I end up outsmarting myself.
My only bad starter, I had Allmendinger.
Didn't he end up he got caught up in that wreck at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, and it was in stage 3. So when I had him in, nothing I could have done. My bench guy was Chastain, which would have been fine, but whatever. I did well enough. I had Will Byron, I had Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, and Shane Van Gisbergen.
Who?
SVG.
Yeah. So I had the guys that finished.
I looked for a while there like he was going to run away with that race too.
Yeah, I had 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and then Allmendinger finished 30th. But
I do like the shorter course that they run at Coda. Like that was a stock car road race. Like there was beating and banging, there was strategy, but that was a stock car road race.
Yeah.
I will try to remember to field the team on Sunday.
That's all right. That you don't have to, because if you do, then all of a sudden I'm gonna suck again.
So I always finish 3rd.
I know, but it just it drags me down.
I figured competition's healthy for you. You'll be all right.
Trust me, Chipper is plenty competition.
Competition. Wait a minute. Saying Chipper and competition in the same sentence is
he
wrong.
won the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I meant to do one. I remembered for the Daytona 500, but then I had to go plow and was dealing with all of that. And for whatever reason, my phone wouldn't let me log into Fantasy.
Oh God.
So I was just like, oh, forget it.
Yeah.
And then I forgot for Atlanta. And then yesterday I forgot. And it was like midway through stage one. And I was like, oh, yeah, I should have probably. I was also kind of busy the last 2 weeks dealing with, stuff.
Stuff.
I was gonna say, I think we all have. Shoot, even missed Elimination Chamber over the weekend, and I never have missed one until this year.
My
Listen,
understanding
did
is
anybody that you know died in the last 2 weeks?
there was no surprises whatsoever at the thing. That's my understanding.
Yeah, I wasn't too surprised by the ending either.
I didn't know if you were nodding at me, George, or at Zolt.
I'm sorry. We
I
talked over each other. I'm sorry.
said, you said we were all busy, and I was like, did anybody that you know died in the last 2 weeks?
Gene Hackman.
Did you personally know Gene Hackman?
No, but you just
Then
all
he
you
did
asked
that does not
was,
count.
did I know anybody?
No.
Yeah, I heard.
You
Gene
heard he died. You've seen that you did not personally know Gene Hackman. You aren't getting an invite to his funeral.
Wow, this went in a weird direction. Okay.
I meant I was busy dealing with somebody in my family dying. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
No, I mean, I don't care for it. I don't care for the Cena heel turn at all.
But it was blatantly due. I thought it was going to be in the Rumble, but they just delayed the inevitable.
I don't think Cena turning heel was inevitable. I don't think that was inevitable at all.
I was expecting it.
I mean, maybe, but I don't see how leading up to anything. What bothers me about the whole thing is that he's retiring in December.
Right.
Cena turning heel, you could have used to establish the next great baby face, right? You could have built hold on. You could have built somebody off of it. Cody's already built. He's your champion. He doesn't need any more. This is much. This to me is a lot like Brock beating Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. Like, the person that should have beat Undertaker for the streak was Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
So, because that would have made Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
He would have been a made man at that point. And I think in this particular instance with Cena, if you're turning Cena heel, you have a few guys that are bubbling at the surface that you could make with the Cena heel turn, right?
Okay.
I'd have done it with Braun Breaker.
That'd be making a statement.
I'd have made Braun Breaker. I'd have made Jey Uso. I realized
I was just going to say, what about Uso?
He's got Gunther, and that's gonna be fine.
Okay.
But I'd have taken Braun Breaker, and I'd have made Braun Breaker with John Cena.
I mean, as I say, the inevitable question is there enough time to really?
No, and they wouldn't do that.
They're not going to. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get Cody and Cena at Mania.
Okay.
You're probably going to get a rematch of Cody and Cena at the Saudi show at the end of April, beginning of May.
What about Roman and Rock?
What about Roman and Rock? Nobody wants that match. Nobody's interested in it. What there's no bill, there's nothing there. There's currently nothing there.
Okay.
You're probably going to get some match of maybe it's Cody and Roman versus Rock and Cena in Saudi Arabia. Who knows, right? Then
Yeah.
maybe you get Rock and Roman at SummerSlam and Cody and Orton, or Cena and Orton at SummerSlam and Cody and whoever. But if you take the title off of Cody at WrestleMania and then make Cody chase it, who do you put it on after December? Because John Cena has explicitly stated January 1st, 2026, he's no longer wrestling. He's done.
Right.
So you painted yourself into a corner. What are you going to do?
And it would, I was going to say, technically the last big one for the year though is at Survivor Series.
No, it isn't. There's one in December.
It's not as big as Survivor Series though.
Well, Survivor Series is one of the big four, but there's a PLE in December.
Yeah, but like I said, your last of the big four is in November.
Survivor Series really, I mean, that's your War Games though. It's a War Games match. Like it's not. It's gimmicked. It's a gimmick now.
Okay.
I'm with you, but I don't think you have to. Like, you could drop the title on a Raw. I don't care.
Okay. No, like I said, I'm just trying to think is like, but like you were saying, who do you slap it on next?
If you take it off of Cody, I don't know who you put it on.
How hard are they pushing the LA Knight thing?
They haven't pushed LA Knight in a long time. LA Knight bubbled up to the surface, and then Vince didn't care, and LA Knight was ready to be the next big breakout star. Vince didn't see shit in him. Vince didn't get him over.
But Vince ain't around. Triple H is running the.
But when the last time that LA Knight was hot, Vince was in charge.
Sam's staying up a little late. Says Roman again.
Shut up, Sam. To me, the match that I think would have been very interesting and would have been a very, very good way to do it is to have CM Punk side with The Rock and sell his soul to go main event WrestleMania, because CM Punk is a very good, believable heel.
Yes. Yes, he is. That's why I always liked him. It's like, as much as people hated him, I was like, nope, I love him even more.
I'm watching the Io Sky Rhea match, and they just did a back suplex off the middle rope and dumped Io right on her head.
Ooh. Ouch. What's with the Run Forest Run?
Run, Forrest, run. It was the combine this past week, dude. You see the combine behind me? Dude's
Nobody
running a
cares.
40-yard
Oh,
dash.
you mean the thing that nobody bothers with anymore because everybody goes to everybody else's pro days because they don't give a damn?
Sir, it is football.
Yeah.
It is
I understand.
the start of the preseason.
No.
Yeah, that's technically true. Yes.
Football season starts at the draft. Stop.
Hang on, wait.
No, actually,
Hang on.
next week. Next
Free
week,
agency.
actually,
The free agency starts next week.
yeah, the floodgates will be opened, and there ain't a beaver around to stop it.
The new league year doesn't begin until the draft, though, right?
No,
No,
league year
next
is
week.
next week.
Next
Yes.
week.
Dumb.
Yep, they get 30 days from 30 some days between the Super Bowl and
March
let the
12th.
battle begin.
March 12th at 4 p.m.
9 days to go. Oh no,
Which means
Wednesday.
all of the we'll know within the next 4 of who all signing where. We just won't have numbers yet.
You're not terribly wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is very true. Hey, the Lions can get Slay back. The Eagles released him.
I honestly, it would not surprise me at all. Just a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Have him be like the number 2 guy.
Give him a 2-year deal.
I think he only wants one. I think he
well.
literally wants 1 year with a real contender and then retire.
What if he gave him one with a player
Oh,
option?
Sorry, Sam.
he just got a ring.
I know. I'm
It's
trying.
like, wait a second. He just
What
No.
if what if he
just
gave
got
him
well, that's
gave him
true.
one with a player option?
He'd come back home technically because
I honestly, I think
and
that's
finish.
what he wants.
Come home.
I don't think he wanted Philly to dump him, but I'm just saying now that they have, I think he would absolutely come back here.
Yep. And say, let me give me my last hurrah at home, and I go riding out on the sunset. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, and absolutely, I would take him. I mean,
yeah. The second I saw it, I was like, dude, somebody from Detroit, get on the phone. Get on the phone.
for Detroit, damn near the entire secondary is a free agent right now. So we need to re-sign. We need to try to re-sign Carlton Davis as our number 1 again. But we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, Slay wouldn't hurt.
True.
Slay wouldn't hurt at all. When Sam posted it, somebody said, "Oh yeah, that's just so they could cut him and re-sign him." I was like, "Yeah, but if Detroit comes along and goes, hey yo, we'll give you another $500,000 extra," he'd be like,
Right.
"Deuces, see ya." Because I think Philly's pretty much already all set with their primaries. I think they're okay.
Well, I mean, okay. We're getting into the Myles Garrett talk.
Oh, did you see the funny thing that
They're not trading him.
No. What was it? It's not Sports Illustrated. It was the other one. Somebody, the Minnesota guy's like, "Hey, I got this weird proposal. We'll turn around and give Cleveland JJ and a number 1 for Miles." And I'm going, dude, put down the beer.
Yeah.
I'm like, MSN is so full of crap on their freaking pages. I'm just like, wow, so much clickbait on MSN. It's not even funny.
I mean, I will say Eagles will definitely make a run at him because for the love of God, they don't want him ending up in Washington. My understanding is Buffalo is making a rather large push right about
Yes.
now. As far as whether
I think next week we will hear a lot because right now there's some smoke.
Yeah,
And
there's
we know,
definitely
and
smoke.
we know this deal. When there's smoke, there is fire, especially
And
when it comes to Cleveland.
that doesn't mean you guys deal him because I know you
Right.
don't want to. At the same time, he has instructed his agent no negotiation.
Yep.
We're not
And
talking to Cleveland.
and Cleveland's already looking at, hey, they can wait until June 1st and then do it.
Right.
You know?
Cleveland's already come out and said they're not trading him.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, but
But
trust
if he's
me,
not
if
negotiating,
the
that means
if
you're
the
also not
deal
gonna
comes
sign
on the
him.
table,
Yeah.
there's the door.
It would have to be an astronomically good deal.
Oh,
It
you're
would.
damn right it would be.
It would.
Yeah. Oh, it totally would be too. There'd be a
That's the thing.
farm. There would be a farm, cattle, and the tractors involved.
And take Philly, for example. If Philly were to get him, they would no longer be able to sign most of their primary free agents
Right.
because that money would be gone.
Yep.
So I mean, I fully understand. Don't let him go to Washington because you are just creating a juggernaut.
And Washington's got the money to do it too.
They do.
But they only have a first, a second, a third, a fifth, sixth, and seventh. I think they only have like one, and then they don't have a fourth.
Yeah, they might have to
And they
go.
got the fifth one from Philly.
Give me your first, your second, and your third, and your first next year, and we'll talk.
I'm thinking it'd be more like a first and a first.
Yep. Yep. It would be two firsts.
And as far as Detroit, I don't think Detroit's even in the running for him right now. We just don't. We don't have what it would take to get him.
You don't have the capital.
We're not willing to give up
No,
what it would
they'd
take to
not
get
give
him.
up. Yeah.
However, and this is nothing that I've heard. This is literally my gut instinct. I think we are still very much in play for trading for Max Crosby.
Really?
Yes.
That would be interesting.
Again, I've heard nothing. That's my gut.
That would be very interesting.
Let me see if I can get this to come up. If I can get this to come up, I have questions.
Okay.
For, you peoples.
Right.
Okay, so a C, really? Stefanski gets a C?
Oh, well, yeah, because all the players are bashing the hell out of it. Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah.
I understand
Justin and
Chicago.
Kyle
They fired
talked
the
about
guy.
it. Yeah. They
Okay.
turn around and they totally, yeah, they are just bashing anything out of the organization. Oh, yeah. They just bashed the hell out of it. It was just like, yep. Oh, yeah, big time. Disgruntled employees all day, every day. Yep. Easily.
And
Yeah.
okay,
I
but
saw that. I was like, this wasn't hard.
okay, but at the same time, it's not just your players that give the grades. It's all the players.
Well, I know. But it was primarily the teams.
I have a question that does
And
not bash your team.
I've been in the locker rooms, I've been in the facilities,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Needs some work.
the visit I've been in some high school locker rooms that are nicer than the Browns visitor locker room.
I bless you again.
Oh, and threes.
I don't have the card ready to pull up, but if I remember correctly, there's one of the categories was treatment of families, and Cincinnati got an F minus.
I heard about that and I was like,
wow.
wow. How do you pull an F minus for families? Mm.
I mean, it's seriously, are they like not letting players have tickets for family members?
Well, I believe that goes through also with the daycare facility setups that they've got for the players on game day if they needed it. So because the Browns have it, the Indians have, or yeah, the hell with it. Yeah, the Indians have it too. No, and in fact, the one that's at the ballpark is really impressive. It's a real nice state of the art one. They have a very nice facility, daycare facility, and it's very secure. It
Wait,
is
actually,
it is super
I
nice.
do have that. I can show that. There it is. Jacksonville gets an F. Cincinnati gets an F minus. An F wasn't bad enough. We had to give you the minus.
Ouch. Ouch. Minnesota with the A plus.
Minnesota had a lot of A pluses. I think if you actually like averaged everything out, they were tops in the league.
Seattle an A minus. Dallas an A. Well, Jerry definitely takes care of people.
I was gonna say that stadium better have like
Yeah.
everything.
I was gonna say it has everything and then some.
That stadium doesn't have a daycare. It's probably got daycare, a neonatal unit. It's got everything.
Birthing center.
Yes. Hey,
Oh,
you don't have to come off the field. She's right there.
right. She's screaming from the
Right.
birthing. Oh, even San Fran had a B plus in there.
I mean, San Fran had an A minus in ownership, so you know, y'all are doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He paid some people off for that. Jed York jacket. Yeah.
Some people were worried about it actually being anonymous.
Right. Yeah. Whatever.
And so apparently, what, Jimmy Johnson retired? Jimmy Johnson,
Which
the
Jim?
NFL, the NFL announcer, former head coach.
Oh,
I was gonna say he's been looking as him and Bradshaw both need to
Okay,
go.
here's the thing, and I don't want to put it this way because I really do respect the guy, but when we saw him Super Bowl and I listened to him talk, and I'm like, when did Jimmy Johnson turn into Lee Corso?
oh,
Yeah. Well, and Bradshaw's not much better.
No, he's really not.
He is not. It's time for some of those guys to go bye-bye.
Well, that was the thing. I guess, they did a whole like I don't want to say almost like a memorial for his career, and then he didn't retire, and they didn't have like any kind of announcement attached to it, and it's like, okay, we're just okay, and then now he retires.
Right.
So I'm very curious if this is a going away present, go away.
Yeah, like I said, Bradshaw has to also go. It's time. You just cannot keep them up. You cannot keep them there.
He can be kicking and screaming his way out that door.
I don't care. He's got to go. He has got to go.
I will
I
say,
mean, he talks out of his backside of his cheek,
yeah,
and he has no clue what he's saying.
I, I did notice something back here at the combine, the parts I was actually paying attention to, and most of it is just it's made for TV now.
Right.
Um, who was the Texas wide receiver? Was it Bond, I think? Who guaranteed, promised he was going to break 4.2 on the 40-yard dash. And then ran a 4.42. Like, did you do no practice on this? I mean, you just thought it was going to happen? I mean, is the good wide receiver from there, Matthew Golden? I mean, at least he did a 4.3.
Yeah, Isaiah Bond.
Yeah, it was like 4.42 or 4.45 or something like that, and it's like,
4.41 on his
okay,
first.
they must have adjusted it.
Whoops. Ruh-roh, Reggie.
Ugh,
It's like, whatever, dude.
nah, like most of that is garbage. Honestly, and I said this on Sam's show last week, I think. The only part of the combine that would be really, really interesting to watch, be a fly on the wall for, is the part that you will never see, and that's the interviews.
Yes. I would love to see the interviews. Would love it. No, one of my favorite things that I saw off of Facebook when the NFL posted this on their page, the faces and the big
Oh
men are running
Jesus!
the 40.
Why would you do that?
Oh, I was in tears when I saw this.
Who? I mean, that's not as bad, but it's along the same lines of who was the offensive lineman that chose to run with his shirt off?
Oh dear Lord, I didn't hear about that,
No,
dude.
this was like 15 years ago. It was a
Oh,
long time ago.
oh my God.
It became a meme before memes were a thing.
Yeah, but
Man.
yeah, it's like my man in the middle. He, yeah, but I mean, the poor fella that's number 3 in the first column, the third one down, my man looks like he has got to take, and he
Yeah.
is holding in the biggest crap, and he's got to hold it, and he can't make it to the bathroom, and he is about to cry. That poor dude. And the second one in the last column, it looks like he had to smell onions or something. It's like, I don't know what this was all about. But I was like, geez. When NFL posted this, I was like, wow. Oh, we've gotten some more material. Wait until these guys get a load of these pictures. Oh my gosh. It was entertaining to see, though. That's for sure.
It was something. It was
Something to chuckle at for about 3 minutes.
right.
But I am intrigued to see that how those top 3 dudes are shuffling around for the draft. I was like, well,
Uh,
it's not the same 3 dudes that we had about 4 months ago.
I Everything that I'm hearing is Cam Ward has established himself as the top quarterback. So Shador will be number 2. It's just a matter of where they go. Tennessee literally could take anybody,
Yeah.
and they could trade out. So they're
And they
in
could
that
take Cam
position.
Ward too.
They could. They
Could.
literally could take anybody.
Yep. Because they're not too content with their quarterback situation either. It's like, all right, try again. Who knows?
Good old Will Levis.
Like you said, they could turn around and snag a QB at one and sit there and go, yep.
I think the biggest thing though is as Cam Ward, sure, he's the number 1 quarterback. Do you really want to be staking your number 1 overall pick on him?
You got much bigger needs.
You do. And frankly, was it Abdul Carter? Could be a monster.
After he's done with the surgery.
Yeah, but at the same time, they have medical guys to look at that. And if the medical guy says he'll be fine, he'll be fine. hang on. We'll keep talking about that. But that just reminded me to look something up.
Yeah.
I literally saw a thing that came out of the combine for worst a player who's considered to be the worst character player, as in this could be like the end of top round guy who may not go in the top 3 rounds kind of thing, or maybe he will.
Really? So character flaws.
James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee.
Character flaws. Interesting.
Reportedly has quote unquote the worst character report of any player in this year's class.
Wow.
Here's a quote. I was told that the Tennessee football program could not only breathe easier once he left campus, but that his pitch count in SEC play was not injury related.
Ooh. Whoops.
He was seen as undeniably uncoachable and as a player with 1 foot out the door already this season.
Ooh, yeah, that's not good. That is not good. And you wonder who leaked that out.
That's a good question. The guy that's reporting this said that one scout says he's got the worst character report. Another scout said that they actually think the environment and the people around him in Tennessee are the issues, and that once he gets into an NFL building, he'll be okay.
Yeah. That's what they said about Johnny Manziel, too. Uh-huh.
A lot. You know what that depends on then? What building he goes into, because some of that'll fly, and some of it won't. Are you Russell Wilson in the last couple of years in Denver, where you're just bringing people in, doing whatever, where you have your own office?
Fair enough. Fair enough. When we brought up we've been harassing, I think harassing Doug has been an understatement about Russell Wilson going to the Raiders. I think it's like, wow, if we wanted to put Doug into the grave both feet in, we're just about getting him there. If Russell Wilson ends up a Raider.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. And we love Doug. Doug's great. I hate the Raiders. I just love the Raiders and how they beat themselves.
So in other words, it would be awesome.
I'm going to put together, this would actually be perhaps one of the best possible drafts for the Raiders in the first 2 rounds. Ready? They take Ashton Junty at 6.
Okay.
And they take Jackson Dart, the quarterback, in the 2nd round.
And who's quarterbacking them?
You're not going to win this year anyway. You're going to be top 10,
right?
Top 10 draft pick. I don't sign. You know what?
They're going to sign
Andy
Fields, or
trade for
sign
Andy
Fields.
Dalton. No, Fields is not leaving Pittsburgh.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, I think that is Pittsburgh's guy next year.
And then Wilson will end up with the Raiders.
Wilson will go somewhere. No, I mean, honestly, they could.
I hope Wilson ends up in San Francisco.
He's not. They're going to give Purdy like $250 million over 5 years.
They are backing up the Brinks trucks.
That's why they traded Debo.
And they're not only the trucks, they're giving the dude a tank. Yeah, they're handing that kid the keys to the castle.
Only for him to burn it down later.
That kid's getting the keys to the castle.
They are giving him so much money, he's going to get a federal subsidy.
Those don't exist anymore. What are you talking about?
Oh, sure they do. You just have to make enough money already.
Quit picking on my boy. Quit picking on my boy.
I honestly, I was listening to Sam's show earlier, and we all know it. Basketball's not my top sport by any means, and I believe Sam referred to Joel Embiid as like the worst professional decision in the history of sports, something along those lines. And
No.
I'm thinking to myself, hang on, give the 49ers a chance. They're about to re-sign Brock Purdy.
Oh, whatever.
The Cleveland Browns would like to speak to you about that.
I was going to say the Browns have got, that crap is that is not only just engraved, that is nearly cemented in as the dumbest damn thing.
That is going to start a whole separate wing in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the dumbest things ever done by an organization. And that's why everybody was talking about the whole Luca thing, and it was just like, oh, well, I'm sure there was a lot of backdoor conversation that
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know what really was the reason for
No,
moving.
but at the same time, though, paying attention to like Mark Cuban, he is so. You can just tell he is so depressed that he sold that team now because he's like, I would not have done this if I'd known you were going to
Nope.
do this.
Yep. It's like Mark turned around and gave up his control and his farm. And I was like, oh, they're going to screw this organization up now. Whoops. Yeah, it's and it's gotten ugly fast.
Yeah.
Did you see the dude who was bouncing around in the hallway? Did you see the video of that guy? He's sitting there skipping around and he goes and he's skipping around and he's skipping up and he catches his forehead right into the door frame, knocks himself almost out. I'm like, oh my God. It was in pregame too. I was like, oh no. I was like, somebody's got to check him for a concussion protocol because he just jumped right up and doesn't. And I'm not saying he clips it. No. His whole forehead went through the whole metal frame, went
Oh,
right into it. I was like, dude, oh my God, seeing stars is an understatement.
you're right.
I was like, my God, what else could possibly go wrong for the Mavericks? I was like, this is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Oh, good Lord. Yeah. When, that was kind of the funny thing. I saw Sam's title for his show today that he's like, yep, there isn't much in NFL. He goes, we'll be covering the NBA. I said, so in other words, you're going to be covering a lot about the Cavs pretty much and their dominance overall at the moment. And he goes, yeah, kind of close enough. Along with a couple other Philly things. But it's just like, dude, really. It's like the whole Luca thing had to happen just so the NBA had something else to talk about besides the Cavs.
I mean, it's basketball. Ain't nobody talking about them or hockey for that matter for the next month and a half. Because frankly, it's college basketball will be the next month.
Right.
So, and then once March Madness is done, that's when
The
NHL
NFL.
and NBA kick off.
Right.
Because you're right into the playoff chase.
Right. And they'll get a little bit of mention, and then the NFL draft comes around and sucks up all of it all over.
Baseball starts.
What?
Starts. That'll
Baseball.
suck a certain segment of people.
Baseball's going to be starting a little sooner for me than
Well, this
that.
is true.
I got a lot coming real fast.
That all depends on the weather, sir.
Nope, I still have a lot coming real fast. That's why they made indoor facilities. I have a lot going on pretty fast. But that's why I also want to try to make sure that a lot of our games are in the back end instead of the front end because of all the rain. and how our fields go. It's like, yeah, because you can end up with 5 days rain, 2 days dry, 5 days rain. It's like, that sucks.
I think we have entertained the folks long enough
Yep.
for one.
I'm ready for wrestling and I'm ready for a nap.
Yeah, and 7-ish, it comes around pretty fast. But thanks for everybody who tuned in for our quick little hour. Excuse me. Bruiser's out.
I am. I'm gonna go lay down.
We will turn around and catch you all next week. Well, until then, say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
That takes care of the 4 minutes. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night. I said say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night.
So I said, well, flip a coin. And if it comes out heads, have your hair dyed.
And if it comes out tails, say goodnight, Gracie.